Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the Smiths in the Black channel here at Ticker Talker with the Strat Time Report. And to start off, we're going to talk about a little thing we call the vortex. All right, so you'll notice that when we talk about things here, we're always using multiple time frame analysis, right? And so what you're going to see if you're following guys on Twitter and stuff like trying to tell you what the futures are doing or SPY's doing, they're looking at an intraday chart. I'm telling you that right now, because when you come to Thursday in any given week, you want to be buying or selling something that's nice, bright, and red and green on the week. Now you see here up in the upper middle, see the SPY? What's it doing this week? Nothing. Nothing. So when you see all these, here's my support level, here's my resistance, it's doing nothing. All right, just admit it, right? And we can expect this the longer the month goes, because in the lower middle you're going to see an inside month still. Right now it's bright green on the month, but it's still inside, right? So then if we go up to the upper left, look at this. Look at this daily right here. What, pray tell, would you say this is doing? Nothing. All right. So just be aware of that. All right. So we can still watch the 60 down in here, right, to see what kind of signals we have going back and forth, because that will help us tell us whether we want to stick with some strong stocks or weak stocks, and get a little bit of futures help, right? But for the most part, when you see something like this, no, don't even waste your analysis time, right? It's like, until every day you can see here, if we go back to the daily, it's just been back and forth, right? Doing nothing, right? And so we've seen it take out some lows, but not weak enough for that. We've seen it take out some highs, but not high enough for that, right? And just going back and forth in here until they just give up and say we're going to do nothing, right? And we'll see what options expiration goes tomorrow. So we're still stuck in this tight broadening formation, right? And I made a series about 7-8 hours of broadening formations, right? So it's on my Smith in the Black Ticker Talker channel. Go check them out. All right, I'm going to be out for the next 2 weeks. Plenty of time to go through that, because if anybody who doesn't understand that price discovery works in a continuous series of broadening formations is constantly pulling their hair out trying to figure if something's support or resistance or why something's doing something, right? So if we go to, say, Netflix, okay, now you're going to see this drop here on the 60, right, on the lower left, right? You can see this big drop. Now, if this was one bar, right? Remember, software is going to present the way it wants to, but if you could manipulate the time frames, right? And these 4 hours were one bar, all of this is inside of that. And then do you know what happens? Price discovery starts over again. And you know how it does that? By taking out highs and taking out lows until it finally gets out of here, right here. So now it's dead in the middle. The good thing is it's getting bigger, and we can identify that if you go to the upper left, outside bar on the daily. And you see these two? If this was a 2-day chart, these two would be inside of all this. How do you get out of there? That's a problem, right? So be aware of that, so you can see how price discovery will go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So we want to be ideally in places that aren't doing that. Go space. So space, you're going to see this here. Now, on a longer term time frame, the longer the time frame, the more we can use this price discovery as it starts out, because it'll start to get bigger. And what I mean by that is, I showed you a daily chart, but if you go to a monthly chart, here's space, right? These 4 months stuck in here. Are you getting out of here? No, none time soon. Well, what we will see is price discovery. Take out slight high, take out slight lower low. So when it takes out this here, over 1870, where's it going? 2153. Give me 2154, which it has done. Now we don't know. All right, so now we don't know, but now it's up there, and you're even going to see this on the 60. There's your price discovery on the 60. Oh, we're going to the highs, are we? Bam, back to previous range, puke, inside bar. More price discovery here, high, lower, low, and then off she goes to try and expand a little bit. So we'll see if there's anything left in here. The problem with this drying up market is it going to be follow through, right, on any of this kind of thing. So DraftKings. So we like coming back through previous range. So once again, you're going to see this on the weekly here on the upper middle. As it starts coming back up and turns green here, guess where it's going? It's going to take that out and hopefully that out. Why? Because we know outside bars exist. Does that phenomenon exist? It definitely does. I got 8 hours to prove it. So when you come back to the previous range, here's how you got your reversal right here, down, and then here. Yesterday starts coming back through this stuff, and now today, here, 35.15. Give me 35.16. What's the high of the day? 35.22. Now you have your broadening formation within the greater formation, you see? So now we'll see if that can get going, because it also turns in the lower middle. It turns green the month. That's good, right? That's a good thing. If we go to a little runner coming in here, HTBX, right? So down in here, you're going to notice this. We talked about this before. We have up, inside, move, boom, right there on the monthly. So it's inside month to the upside, right? So it's bright green on the week. That's good, right? It already started that. Here was your outside bar. Remember, inside bar, and then an outside bar. So as soon as this thing turned green here, it's going to take that out. And if we're lucky, it takes that out, because all time frames are green at the time, right? Then it starts continuing here, right? Real nice stuff. Have we looked at this pattern before? The inside bar, take out one side, come back through. Rev strat, we have right there. Boom, off to the races she goes. And now, one of the good things, as we watch a new 60 is like a new day to us, right? What happened right on the new 60? Went inside 15 and back down. So I know they're not going to make too much on the short side of this, but if you made money on that long side, you can take that with their money and take it back short. We go to, let's see here, Sono, you can see here, bright green on the month. Outside bar on the week in the upper middle, right? You're going to see that. And so right here, we know it's going to go outside week. Comes back down. Here's that outside bar, then ticks down, and then back through on the daily. Trying to go back up on the 15, but let's see what that 60 looks like. 60 was a little strong, but here's where it went outside bar, and we'll see if there's any continuation on that. Like I said, we're going to be taking each hour here like a new day, because it's really flat and slow, and some things, have a tendency to fade. There's not a lot of follow-through when you have a market like this. So you can see something like VMW here. Starts off the day, I'm like, I'm going to start running. I'm like, are you? It's like right back down the season. New hour. You see that? Right there on the new hour. We get that monthly up a little bit bigger. Okay. Spotify was coming up here early too. See how Spotify's doing? And spot, now you got your inside 60 here, spot. So we can see if this thing firm up and go through here. 269.76 would get my attention. And what's important to understand here is if you go to the weekly here, outside bar, it's still red. But once an outside bar, you can't change that, right? And price discovery is going on. And if they're willing to pay up and sell down, they might do it again, all right? Triangles need to grow. I showed you in those videos. There's your broadening formation right there. So if they're willing to pay up here and sell down here, they might be willing to pay up here again. So we'll see how that goes with the 60 Spotify. PKG. And PKG here had the outside week, right? And now is expanding that. That's a good thing, right? You're nice, bright and green on the day in the upper left. And here you can see this formation here on the monthly. Still an inside month. But you can see the price discovery here. So if this thing can follow through, you might get some more good stuff in here on the 60. We'd want to line that up again. Because we had FedEx here. And FedEx having a nice day. That's what you want, nice green day. And if you look here up in the upper middle, you can see an inside week to the upside. That's good. If you look at the middle, lower, you're going to see coming back through previous range, right? That's good. And if you blow it out a little bit, you just see it's coming up back through all this kind of stuff here. That's good. All right, so we had early on a lot of the rails going, but they started to back off, like CSX, Union Pac, and you can see them start to back off. And this is why we watch these 60s, right? That's like a new day. Right? Are they going to keep going, or are they going to give us corrective activity? And then if they give us another buy signal and they're green on all time frames, then we can go after them on the new 60. Future's really drying up here and doing nothing. So how about NVAX? How you doing, buddy? NVAX looks like it stalls out a bit. You got an inside 60 here in NVAX to see if that can give you measured move, but we'll see. Because some of the things that we're looking right on the downside, and just not totally falling apart, but anything, we had a lot of inside days trying to break to the downside, like SHOP Here, you can see this in the upper left, inside date to the downside, not totally getting killed. Crowd here, but these are the kind of things that we want to look for, right? Should the market start to do anything, like start to fall off, but it's our watch list, right? So we're willing to go either way here. We just want to look for how the signal's set up. Do they crap out? Do they reconfirm what happens? And that's why we're reevaluating every 60. We call that the flip. We want to know about that. Adobe here now starting to come back on an inside 60, but on the way down, what we want to look for is red on all time frames, right? Which we did have during this point in the lower left. You see the monthly is red. You're an outside red on the week, and you're taking out yesterday's lows, right? So ideally, we'd want to come down here and take this out. We'll see if we get any more weakness. Right now, Q's firming up just a tad. INTU. And INTU, here's another one. Here's what we look for. Remember, we talked about this yesterday, or 2 days ago, I think. Here, this bar here is outside, and then here, there's a reversal back through, where these become an outside bar of all this. Then we get reconfirmation by an inside day, right? And then down. Now we're looking to at least take this out here. 280.99, we'll see if that goes. Right now, you're going to see here, inside on the 60 in the lower left. We also have the potential of an outside month here in the inside middle, right, as long as these reconfirm. And so this would be directional. And what I mean by that is that it's down, inside, and then down. That means it has to go, and then we'd be looking to take that out. We prefer reversals like this, slight higher high, and then back through the previous range. That's when you're going to get those whacker moves like that. If we go to PRNB. PRNB, here's what you look for. Here's a nice one, right? You can see up in the daily your broadening formation, like so. Oh yeah, they took them all out yesterday. Then when you come back through here, that's 2-2 reversal, all sorts of trouble. Still green on the month, but you can see how all these shadows here on the monthly, this thing's been going back and forth, right? And when you get this coming back to the previous range, you can get a nice little move. You got a nice little inside 60 right here, and we'll see if that can continue. Right now, Q's firming up just a tad. INCY in the bio, and here once again, what we look for in the daily. You see this? Pops it up, and then the reversal right here, which is also similar to the weekly here in the upper middle. Up, take it out, right? And then now you got this, right? These slight lower lows, and you're red on the month, right? Now you're inside on the 60. Like a lot of things are going to dry up and go inside 60. We know that. SEDG. And SEDG, here's a broadening formation we've been watching. I've walked you right through this one, right? And now you got that outside bar, and then this up, 2 up, and then down, right? So as long as that's below there and doesn't have a reversal against, we'll keep an eye on that. And the problem would be the weekly and the monthly, right? But you're running out a week, right? So we want to pay attention to this kind of stuff, right? To see what it's going to set up for next week. It would have some distance not to be an inside week, but once you come back through previous range, good things tend to happen. If you go to D-Dog, and D-Dog, you can see this here, red on all time frames. You can see the price discovery here on the 60. You see this? These guys getting stuck and all of this kind of stuff, and then all this kind of fun. And here, the choppy, the shoppy. But once again, if you can find things on all time frames, a reversal on the weekly. The continuation, this is 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, and then this continuation here, that's stuff that you look for. So like I said, it's a little slow out there, and we're looking for things that are moving, so staying on anything with long red and green bars. Also, we might get a little bit of a melt out of the VXX here. Oftentimes people think that the VIX hates the up market. DraftKings goes to the highs. The VIX hates boring markets because people are doing nothing as far as protecting themselves with options. So when you're coming into options expiration, right, sometimes you get the premium burn on Thursday, and that VIX does not like that at all. So that's going to leave it there. So I'll be on tomorrow, and then I'm going to be out for 2 weeks. So you've got plenty. If you come to Smith in the Black channel, Ticker Tiger, you got plenty of stuff to look through until I get back. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith of Smith in the Black channel here at Ticker Tiger with the Strat Time Report.